Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time finding me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, also for your cross watchers. I'm doing a ClairTarot reading for your 2020 forecast. Let me just shuffle the cards. I'm going to ask the Leo collective energy. Exactly what do we have to look forward to from this reading? Oh, it's about you receiving stuff, receiving support. Oh, shoot. This has to do with galactic things. Has to do with galactic things. Oh, shoot. We're starting real strong right here, Leo. Oh, wow. Okay. Now I'm all excited to pull the rest of the cards. Let's see. So, Leo, your guys' readings over the past few months have been really intense. Has a lot to do with the link to galactic guardianship, your connection to the Leo constellation, Regulus 23, the heart of Michael. Oh, woohoo, gosh. This is about initiation. Okay. This is really about a divine initiation for you guys. Leo has had such a significant role, whether you guys are aware of it or not. You have had such a significant role with galactic things. I don't know how I know that, but that's just a knowing that keeps popping into your readings. It keeps wanting and needing to be shared. And I don't think 2020 is going to be any different than how this winter has gone. And I don't necessarily mean like if you've struggled this winter, you're just going to keep struggling. I mean, how this winter has been a winter of Leo's basically being called to action, being called to wake up, being called to remember the greatness that they are. And I'm almost done. It's final deck. It seems like this is just going to be an amplification of it, and that Leos are going to be taking such a major role. Oh, shoot. Okay. Let's see. Oh, a lot of dark stuff that I'm feeling. I'm feeling an attempt to interfere with your reading. All right, Leos. I'm not too keen on things trying to interfere with what I'm doing. So right before I start your actual interpretation of the cards, I'm going to take a moment for any of you whose higher selves are willing and are in agreement with assisting me with this. I'm going to go ahead and create an energetic grid for all of us who are present. Hold on. For all of us who are present, if you are in agreement, I'm going to create an energetic grid of protection, and it's going to allow your higher self to assist me in creating protection for us. So just breathe very deep and very slow. I feel dragons. I feel a lot of dragons. So card number 8, be the hunter, not the hunted. This is about you allowing yourself to receive the kind of support that you're needing to complete the things that need to be completed in this life. Whether that thing that needs to be completed is more on a personal matter, meaning little projects, you know, that you need to complete, then thank you. Then allow them to help you. Okay. Leos have a tendency to not let anyone know that they're needing help, that something's wrong. It's time to stop doing that. In addition to that, in addition to letting you know that there are people in your life that are wanting and able to help you in the way that you need, and you needing to allow that, there's a secondary message, and it's one that's galactic. It's this feeling that another group, because Leo is one group, right? Another group is being sent to assist with the guardianship of certain energetic and geographic structures. Okay. So you might have some new people coming into your life. These new people have some sort of soul connection with you that, I mean, you don't have to tell them all your secrets or anything like that, but you do have to kind of just be open to getting to know someone first and seeing if they're worthy of your trust. First, make sure they are worthy of your trust. Okay. If you're into the whole galactic thing, star seeds, all the different races. My nose is all tickled. All the different galactic races and things like that. Just know there's going to be someone, at least one person, but up to about 5 people who will be brought to you that will have very elevated ability and very elevated remembrance. 72% at 327. That's fascinating. That's fascinating. Mirroring a completion and guidance back to the foundation. And once you're at that foundation, you're returning back to a knowing that 9 and 9, you're flanked by God energy, by creation. You're supported, fully supported. Okay. Divine Sisterhood, community of the spiritual sisters and brothers of the light. This is about an initiation. Okay. You're being initiated into a group that has a very, very elevated spiritual purpose here in this life. I'm finding the characteristics that are commonly thought of for all the different zodiac signs. They're specifically put into place to cripple you, okay? To make you feel obligated to behave in certain ways that will honor the stereotype of your zodiac. Leo, I don't believe you to be simply a stereotype of a zodiac. This whole notion of, you all you want is the spotlight and attention, and there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes for Leo, and it has nothing to do with wanting attention. There's a lot of things, energetically speaking, going on for many Leos that are being kept very, very quiet. There are different types of, I guess you could say, activations, different types of, I just heard mutations in coding. Y'all are being turned into something else, something much more profound. Oh, crikey. It's an answer to a mutation. Fourth house roots. The root chamber was mutated. Hold on. The root chamber was mutated. The root races from which you sprang. The coding was mutated. Fourth house, roots. I love you as certain dark things are to be loved, in secret, between the shadow and the soul. One of my most favorite poems of all time. That's by Pablo Neruda. I just got to read that one more time. I love you as certain dark things are to be loved, in secret, between the shadow and the soul. So I believe that's a message from creation for all of you Leos. That's fucking it. Your question may somehow be rooted in the past. Okay, this might not make sense for any of you, but for some of you it will. The roots of your lineage were mutated. Time as we know it, linear time as we know it is a fallacy. It's cyclical. Everything happened at once and is expanding from itself before it contracts back together. Wow. I love you as certain dark things are to be loved in secret. Between the shadow and the soul, one layer of you was mutated. This layering was kept very, very secret. And this layering was mutated in response to a mutation of another galactic lineage, one that's highly parasitic. Okay. So it signifies a home, family in the earliest phase of childhood, even to the time shortly before birth, when we are still in the womb. Oh, it is cover that protects us from the world. This house represents nurturing, giving, nourishment, and safety. This house holds the memory of our ancestors. It represents the putting down of roots and the foundation of everything in our lives, our heritage and tribal affiliations. In the fourth house, the self is centered and grounded, but also likes to hide away. This house also represents hidden treasures and a place to retreat. God. So for those who are here on a very galactic point of view, just know your soul mission is being activated this year, full activation for that subset. So for the rest of us, when this chart shows up in a reading, home and family issues may have something to do with your struggles. It represents your current environment, family members, and where you live. Real estate and land might also figure in, as in putting down roots or buying or selling a home. So for this, for the rest of us, this might be an indicator that you're going to be entering a more domestic phase of your journey, 76% at 333. This can include purchasing of a home or property. This can include the birth of a new family member. This is about really establishing your roots in this life. Really making the decisions that need to be made in order to move solidly forward as a human being in a human life, okay? And it's important that you have gratitude and appreciation for everything that's going on, even the struggles that you're experiencing, because these struggles are really, it's this sense that the struggles are what's guiding you to where you need to be. Leo, you're not living in a free-for-all, okay? You are not living in a free-for-all. You have a tendency to not listen. And so struggle is often what's used to, I guess you could say, corral you in and guide you, herd you to wherever you need to go. This is the house of dreams, imagining and relying upon magic. It's lorded over by Lady Moon, mistress of magic in the unseen world. For this card, I was also getting that you have to allow gratitude, gratefulness, appreciation. You have to allow this to be a very, very huge part of your everyday. It doesn't mean you have to say thank you to everyone all the time just for existing, but it does mean that you have to see every interaction or lack thereof as a blessing. And when you do that, I'm being shown that the pathways are constricted within your auric field. The energetic pathways that abundance takes to flood your luminous bodies have been restricted, very constricted. And so the gratitude, it almost serves like for lack of a better word, a vasodilator. It will dilate those pathways, it will enlarge them. And so more of that abundance energy can flow through. Okay. I'm also being told to point out you have a rainbow, and typically at the end of the rainbow, it's said that there are treasures. A rainbow is not just an arc. It's just that we're only seeing half of it. A rainbow is actually a circle, completely round. There is no end to it. And that's a message to let you know there is no end to your abundance. Instead of looking for the beginning or the end of any circumstance, if you just jump right into it, jump right into the rainbow, say the rainbow is a circumstance, you'll find the treasures within it, not at the end. It's within it. The treasure is within you. So let us see. Card number 38, restore and replenish. This is just letting you know, yes, you're still exhausted. And this has been a very difficult winter for so many of the Leos, and it's left you feeling very, very depleted. And that's okay. That's okay. You have to listen to the messages that are being sent to you. You're surrounded by messages consistently. You're surrounded by growth, different layers of growth. The key is in holding things together. Okay. Because what do buttons do? They hold things together. So this is the key, holding it together, making sure you pause long enough. Oh, wait. Card number 4, pause. Making sure you pause long enough to understand whatever the circumstance is in front of you. You're being watched. Hidden in so many things, like a sly fox. Whatever this presence is, it's like a sly fox, but it's been tracking you with the intelligence and stamina of a wolf, unbalanced wolf. Look at all the faces. You're being watched. You're being watched by something in creation. I don't know what it is. Do you have to be afraid? No, you don't. But you have to be mindful of the wolf, the one that's tracking you. Okay? And there probably will be one trying to ride on your coattails. This means you're about to be recognized for something, elevated in position or stature within your social circle, your family. You're about to be elevated, and you're going to have a lot of people jealous. Hold on. I'm told that I'm missing a detail. Can you just tell me what the detail is? I cannot be staring at this for too long. Okay. It seems to be some type of light code. I'll show you guys one more time so that maybe you can try and see for yourself if there's anything hidden within the image that you need to have. All right. Moving on. Pyramid of light. Step your vibration deeper into love. This is about going deeper into yourself and allowing more of your personal power to be noticed, not to be put on showcase. Okay. We're not trying to show off. We're not trying to impress other people. Not that that's something you do, but I just need to clarify. Instead, allow it to just kind of ooze out of you. Hold on. There is something going on. There's definitely something going on. Something is attempting to distract. There's a big message. And something's trying to distract from it. Pull more cards. Hold on, guys. Oh, that fell out. Okay. Bunch of cards fell out. Okay. Let me see what this is about. Dispute or ruin over a woman, impulsive. See, telling you guys, there's a female that's going to try and ride your coattails. She's going to start some shit. She's going to start some shit, and it's going to be something that affects you, like a trauma-induced accretion. Trickery, contradictions, complexity, involvement. So 5 of staves in reverse. It has to do with that female. It has to do with that female, and it's like a smoke screen, like a fog, keeping everyone else in a haze so they don't see the actual truth of what's happening. Okay. Hold on. Partial loss, regret, friendship without real meaning, and complete union or partnership. She's going to cause a lot of trouble. You're not going to even see it coming because she's going to come from the back, from the rear. She's going to ride your coattails and she's going to come from the rear. Impatience, uneasiness, imprudent actions, unwise investments, loss of money. So again, it has to do with impatience. Leos, that's something you guys are struggling with. Okay, patience. You have to be patient with your process or a whole shitstorm is waiting for you this year. Okay, it's going to be connected to a female, someone who has probably been watching you for some time. Quite a few people have been watching you for some time. But if you aren't patient, if you don't rein yourself in, it's not going to end good for you. But if you can, then none of this has to happen. I mean, she can still try, but it's not going to mean anything. Yeah. So Queen of Staves in reverse, jealousy, deceit, unstable emotions, fickleness, resistance. So she wants what you have. She wants what you have. She covets what you have. Distraction. That's a distraction. Lilith energy. I'm so sick of that Lilith. I'm telling y'all. I'm going to take my Capricorn ass and ram her with my horns in her ass. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say those kind of things. It's just how I feel right now. Card number 22. Capricorn, I use time, the corrector when judgments err. So we got to pause. Just fucking something just shifted. Eyeballs are rocking in their sockets. Okay. Eyeballs are rocking in their sockets. So Capricorn, it's time to focus on your objectives and not let up. This is the planet ruled by Saturn, the planet of hard luck. Let's see. When this card shows up, it denotes a time of diligence and hard work. There's a gaining in status and reputation. Whatever you've toiled over and especially sacrificed for, you're ready for splendid results to be revealed. Keep in mind this gain may be slow and systematic, but that you are heading towards something solid and lasting. You're about to meet all the right people who will back you and your goals. See what I'm saying? We were just talking about this. Hi, Norseman. We were just talking about this. You might feel more driven than usual. Put childish things away and take responsibility. No more rushing, no more doing things haphazardly. You have to be very careful that when the people who are meant to come this year to support you in your mission, your life, be careful not to let that in. It's a very deceptive feminine energy. It doesn't have to be a female. Lilith energy. This might not coincide with things that were things that were told in more popular teachings about Lilith. That's one of her names, Lilith. She actually is a very manly feminine or a very feminine man. So she can tap into both. And no matter what she taps into, it's this sense that she always covets. She likes to dismantle any type of progress. It's like that one friend who, when you tell them something good has happened for you, they're like, oh, that's good. But then you can tell they're not really happy for you. They're really not happy for you. They want you to succeed as long as it's not more successful than where they're at. Okay. So it's that kind of person, one that's very conniving, one that is very manipulative, one that the initial, unless you're very super sensitive to energy and very discerning, they seem like a really, really amazing person. Okay. They are like a sly fox. You see that fox right there? That fox that turns into a wolf. They are sly like a fox, but have the stamina to continue hunting you like a wolf. I don't know if you know how wolf stamina works, but it's seriously, they can keep tracking after their prey for miles and miles and days. They will wound the prey, nothing super fatal, enough to weaken them. And the prey obviously will take off and then they'll follow after it. They won't continue to engage it. They'll just keep following, allow it to weaken itself. And then when it's too weak, that's what they're fucking gonna do. That's it. Leos, be very, very careful of a feminine man or a masculine feminine that will inflict some sort of injury. They will create, based off of this, they're going to create some sort of drama, okay? They're going to be at the center of the drama, but they're going to deflect because they have this belief that Leo wants to be at the spotlight. They're going to make this drama about you, okay? And as you continue to stress yourself out, use up all of your reserves trying to address this drama, they're just going to be in the background. They're just going to be in the background. And this is not going to be true for everyone, but for some of you, this is one hell of a plan. I hope she gets a yeast infection. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. People who do nasty things like that should be slowed down with like a raging yeast infection. It's card number 17. What is already with you? whatever is trying to be attempted right now, trying to be taken from you, it's already within you. It's probably this assumption that you're still needing to work to attain whatever it is they're trying to keep you from attaining. It's already within you. It's already a part of your truth. So really, this whole process is what's going to cause you to recognize this is already within you. This type of strength is already yours. It's already inside you. And the thing is that you don't realize how strong you are until you have no choice but to be strong. 88% at 350, 8880. So this feels like you're going to probably, for some of you, this might occur around May time. That's the month that I'm getting. So that it's already started. If any of you are resonating with this female wolf fox circumstance, it's already started. They've already begun the depletion months ago. You have a lot of reserves. You can tap into solar energy. If you sit in the sun quite a bit, here's my little disclaimer. I am not licensed or trained to dispense medical advice, treatment, or diagnosis. I'm a stay-at-home mom. Use your own discernment, do your own research. I personally, if I was a Leo and I was resonating with this and starting to feel depleted, I would sit my ass naked in the sun with no sunscreen on, no nothing. Well, you don't have to be fully naked. You could put some pasties or something. I don't know. But I would sit in the sun at least 5-10 minutes a day and allow the solar energy to charge up my solar cells, my skin, allow the vitamin D production to really uptick. That will make it a lot more difficult for you to get sick. It feels like this depletion is going to be attempted on so many different levels, emotionally, mentally, physically, socially, financially. Be careful of people who are constantly needing your help by borrowing $5, $10, $20, $100. All of that adds up. Okay. All of that adds up. And this seems like the first half of the year for Leo. It's going to continue to be something, that is intentionally depleting you. And don't look at it as like, oh shit, I thought I was going to hear something good. Well, here's the thing. If you have a cup of coffee and the milk has gone bad, do you want to just add more milk to that? You're going to be drinking rotten milk. I don't know if it's just my head. I know the milk hasn't gone bad. My mind playing tricks on me. But if you have rotting coffee in a cup, you don't want to just keep refilling that cup. You want to empty it out. Okay. So whatever energies are going on, they've already been tainted by whatever this is. You want to just let that continue to deplete and drain out. So don't be alarmed if this is something that occurs for you. This is creation allowing this kind of depletion to occur so that when you get rejuvenated, replenished, it's going to be completely new energy, something very clean and crisp. And that's going to give you enough of an oomph to go ahead and finish your transformation. Card number 20, Scorpio, I transform. You're probably going to have to experience quite a bit of emotional depth. I know Leos don't really like to go into that. And I am noticing that Leos have a tendency to be very, very private. They will allow certain things, you guys will allow certain things to be noticed or seen, but those certain things have a tendency to be things that are, simply the good things. Like you keep your own struggle to yourself. And that's not something shady. That's called privacy. That's called privacy. You don't have to tell everyone your business. I honestly, I don't feel like you have to tell anyone anything, anyone, anything. But you have to be careful about erecting walls. When you erect walls, Not only do they keep out the things you don't want in your space, they also keep out the very things that are being sent to you to assist you, your abundance. Okay? So just be careful of the walls. Walls are not necessarily bad as long as you have windows and doors and know how to open them. See? So it's not bad. Queen of Heaven, blessing from the divine empress of the skies. Oh, shoot. Okay. There you go. Let me go ahead and get the book for this one. That's an intense card. All right. The Queen of Heaven, the divine empress of the skies, acknowledges your feminine authority now. Excuse me, as a man or a woman, you have a life path of spiritual leadership to bring qualities of mercy, compassion, and wisdom into the world. This oracle is a confirmation of your feminine leadership and spiritual authority, whether in male or female body this lifetime. Isis means throne, and her presence and blessing as divine empress of the skies. She offers initiates of the light, men and women, great feminine spiritual power. Feminine spiritual authority occurs when power is tempered with mercy, wisdom, compassion, and love. It's inspired spiritual leadership through the heart and a model of power and authority that's based in empowerment rather than force or control. So again, you got to slow it down. You can't try and control things. You have to have the grace to just allow the flow of events in your life, the flow of energy, the flow of manifestation, all of that. This oracle is confirmation to step forward in leadership if you've been considering doing so. It might be in connection with others, especially if you, no, we didn't. Oh, wait, we did draw that. Yes, we did. This oracle is confirmation to step forward in leadership if you've been considering doing so. It might be in connection with others, especially if you also drew the card of divine sisterhood. But you are also to realize that you're capable spiritual leader in your own right as you trust in the divine feminine values within you. This new model of power is not about assuming authority over another, but about living your truth and integrity and leading by authentic example. For some of you Leos, it seems like some of the younger ones, like, mid-30s and younger. This female is you. That's the old version of you that needs to be left in 2019. You're not going to like this, but you need to stop that shit. Okay? Stop that shit. Stop sabotaging yourself. Stop putting yourself in circumstance that's really fucking up your whole flow. And then you're blaming it on other people. I'm not talking to all Leos. It's a very specific few. This is you. Take accountability for what you've created. Remember what I said about all of this. Okay? All of this is coming back to bite you in the ass. This is something that was done probably last summer. And now it's coming to bite you in the ass. And it's not just females. This could be a younger male as well. The general feeling that I get from this, this pertains in particular to those who are less than 40 years old. Oh, I'm told mindset. Well, if your mental and emotional growth has been stunted, okay, you could be older than 40. But yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to publicly shame anyone in particular. Y'all know who you are. You don't have to comment. You don't have to say anything. There's no need for any kind of public confession. Stop doing this to yourself. Okay? Stop hurting yourself. Stop allowing the really, really oppressive thoughts within your mind to convince you that you need to do this and you need to create this type of life for yourself. And this is not just Leos that do this. Every single sign has members of that sign that do this. Every single sign. This is not about singling anyone out, but this is a message that's needing to be heard by certain individuals in this Leo group. Card number 25, keep your dreams alive. All right. This is about a very distorted teenage mentality that maybe some trauma, some sort of stress has re-triggered some of the really destructive teenage behaviors that you had, during your teenage years. Your higher self is asking you to return back to the innocence and awe of your inner child. This is a call for inner child work to be performed this year. Leo has a very elevated potentiality this year. Very, very elevated potentiality. And it might be that some of us are experiencing this stuff to deconstruct our commitment to a regular human existence. Because if we're looking at all the cards from the beginning to now, you're being called to a much higher level of existence, of consciousness. And you can't enter this level of consciousness without first undoing all the shackles and the cordings and the bindings and, the chains and the cages. And that sounds like one hell of a party. All of that has to be undone first. And that's fine because, oh, shit. The reason they're that age is because they are the crystal children. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Okay. The crystal children were the children who, they were another wave of souls that came after the indigos. So the indigos, I'm like the tail end of the indigos. They kind of stopped around, they kind of stopped being born around the 70s. Okay. And then there was a little bit of a lull, and then crystals started to trickle in. The crystal children are the ones who, once the indigos are in place and are beginning the process of deconstructing this matrix, the indigos, not the indigos, the crystals become activated and they raise the vibration. So the powers that be, they knew these waves of souls were coming. And they went out of their way to cause tremendous traumas and all kind of other programming that attacked and destabilized the home, the sanctuary, the safe space of these crystal children. And it's an undoing of that. It's an undoing of that programming because it's time for you to wake up. Oh, shit. It's within your hands. I'm getting goosebumps. It's within your hands. It's through your exhale, your breath, that all of creation begins to come alive again. Wow. Wow. This is intense. This is intense. Okay. I just gave myself a headache. I thought a little too hard. Let me get you guys a final message. What should you do? Privately message me, Norseman. Privately message me. We'll talk. Okay. So, Leos, let's get you guys a final message and then I'll kind of recap what to expect, what you could possibly expect this year. Card number 6, 1. I have abolished duality from myself. I have seen two worlds as one. One I seek, one I know, one I see, and one I call. You look for me, and what do you see? You. Am I playing games with you? Holding up a mirror for you to behold God? Yes, these are the games of love and truth. Look for me and find yourself, for I am you and you are me, and together we are one, playing hide and seek in love's great playground. Like molten gold poured from the furnace of divine love into a into a one-of-a-kind mold. You are created uniquely and of divine essence. You are both the lover and the beloved. There's no aspect of your life separate from your spiritual journey, and there is no aspect of you that is not of divine origin. So then why the frowning, the fear, or the questioning? Let me share a sublime secret with you. Let me whisper it into your heart now. There's nothing to fear. All is unfolding according to the divine genius, and there is a sweet shift in store for you. No matter how dire circumstances may appear to be or despairing you may feel, there is still an avenue through which fulfillment and resolution will be granted. This will happen. That is because the divine seeks wholeness of the one. That means anything and everything, every part of existence, and that includes you and all aspects of your being in life, is claimed by the divine. Your return to the divine is demanded. Every part of you, every life circumstance. The divine keeps rigorous, flawless accounts. Therefore, nothing shall be left accounted for, not even that which seems to be outside divine attention and grace at this moment. This oracle comes to you with particular guidance. There is a friction or conflict within you or your life right now. A sense, perhaps, of being pulled in more than one direction and confusion because of this. You are questioning which path to take, this way or that. What if you choose this path and it turns out the other would have been better? But how can you know now what choice, if any, is most needed in your life? So many questions, your mind is scurrying. There is no other word for it. Backwards and forwards it goes, to and fro, trying to settle upon the truth. I love you too much to allow this to continue unchecked. Surrender it, give it up. The truth you seek is this: you shall be. Do not fret and fear. Do not hold back from that which feels incomplete out of anxiety or distress. It is just the lover that will soon be joined by the beloved. You are recognizing the moment before this occurs, so fret not, and instead let that inner love loose. If there is any part of you struggling to surrender the conflict between old and new, between what has been and what needs to be, between passion and duty, creativity and rationality, between this role or identity, then know this: even the conflict serves. Don't choose either one and believe it is the answer. Sometimes the sacrifice is not one or the other, but the idea that it can only be one or the other. At another level, a level of divine resolution, there is beyond the apparent polarity and conflict a third way, the rising up to where there's only one perfection taking place constantly. Open your heart, you'll find the bridge to understanding and trusting in that perfection there, where it has always been and will always be. Don't worry, all is happening exactly as it should. Ooh, this oracle brings you particular guidance. There is a resolution and a perfect coming together of elements in your life that might have seemed in conflict. Something you've been trying to integrate is so very nearly ready to click into place. You're about to activate in a way you've never been activated before. This is not something anyone is going to do for you. This is something you're going to do for yourself. This is something you're going to do for yourself. Okay. Oh my. Oh my. Um uh, okay. So I said oh my because I was being told that I need to be supportive of those who are needing that extra support in the activations department. Sale just ended. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I think it's a Blu-ray. No, or a film. Both. Blu-ray and the Aurafilm activations apparently are very supportive of the whole myriad of activations that Leos are going to be going through over the next few months. I'll go ahead and go on my website after this live stream is done and mark those. Oh, Michael. I'll go ahead and mark those as 40% off. Anything else, Michael? Anything else? I just don't like when you like dump these kind of ideas on me, like while I'm live. I'm not opposed to assisting. I'm not opposed to discounts. I'm opposed to him just like, oh, by the way, this is what you're going to do. That's fine. So let's just recap. We're trying to look deep, deep, deep into ourselves and find what it is that we are afraid of. Okay. Our fear of our growth, our fear of our depth is definitely getting the way of our rise. And the first half of this year is really going to be used to completely deplete those energies that have been tainted by our intense fears, that have been affected and distorted by so much struggle that we've experienced over the past few months. Some of us Leos have been, since early summer of last year, has been really, really difficult. That's when the uptick in struggle occurred. And now it's time to really allow the last of those feelings to be purged out of you. It's not wrong to be mad or frustrated or, pissed off at creation itself for having you struggle for so long, but it was a process. It was definitely a process that you had to go through. You're almost done with it. Some of the Leos will be done with it way before the 6-month mark, like June time. I feel like some are probably already almost finished with this cycle. Those that are almost finished with this cycle, I do foresee that end of spring all the way through to fall, middle of fall, there's going to be, it's almost like the calm before the storm, like a whole bunch of beautiful opportunities, like a quieting in the amount of stress, anxiety. um, Anxiety has been really big for Leo. I was just told that. But it's going to be a really nice, quiet phase. You have to maximize this quiet phase once it begins, okay? This is not a time for you to just begin spending frivolously. If you're going to spend, it's not that you don't spend at all. It's that you have to make sure it's going to be something that will benefit you in the long run, okay? It's okay to splurge, but it has to benefit you in the long run. If it's like a program that is going to help you reach higher levels within your specialty, like a certification program or whatever, go ahead and splurge on that. It's not even really a splurge. It's an investment in yourself. That's the key. And that's how it needs to be explained. If you're going to spend, it needs to be some type of investment in yourself and your future. Okay. It's not just about making money. It's about investing in yourself. Things that will really help to give you more tools to process, because come fall, winter time, I think for most Leos at this point, fall, winter time of next fall, there's going to be another increasing in the energies. You're going to go through another massive leap forward. It tends to begin at the Lionsgate portal on 8/8. That's when the Lionsgate portal is. It tends to begin then. So you can expect a huge uptick. Wait, what happens outside? We may not change all of that. However, what happens within us should be absolutely under our control, isn't it? No, there's no absolutes. What happens within you is a process, and you don't always get a say as a human being in how that process occurs. That's how you set yourself up for feelings of failure, distortions in your perception, flowing, recognizing that the things happening within you and outside of you are things that are growing you in ways that you might not fully understand, and submitting to that process is the best way to handle all of this. Relying on others to know who they are, that's also, it's not necessarily bad, but it's not the best idea to rely on others to know who you are. Most people don't even know who they are. You know what I mean? How could they really truly know who you are if they don't even know who they are? It's rare, but there are individuals who exist who don't know who they are, but are proficient in truly seeing you, seeing behind the walls that you have up. But should you rely on them, I think you should be open to the potentiality of meeting someone who can give you additional pieces to your puzzle. But if you're going to rely on someone to put your puzzle together for you, that's not going to work. Just like trying to convince yourself that you can fully control everything within you, that's not going to work either. You have to remember the human consciousness is in the toddlerhood of its evolution. It wouldn't be fair to expect a toddler to be in control of their emotions all the time. Toddlers oftentimes will get overloaded with sensory overload, and they won't know how to process it. They don't have enough life experience to be able to verbalize, articulate their needs. And that's kind of where we are, to be honest. Humans don't always have the courage or the words to verbalize what's going on within. There's a lot of shaming, and the way that society is structured, it's very difficult because there's so many stigmas. If you ask for help, if you say what's actually going on, it's hard. It's hard. A lot of people they can't take the pressure of others knowing that they're flawed in some way. Right. We do have to do the journey ourselves. You're absolutely right. But just know, just like with, you can have a plan to go ahead and climb Kilimanjaro. That's exotic. You can have a plan to climb extremely high heights. But you can't control the environment. You can't control it. You can have all of these wonderful high-tech gear with you. You can hire the most amazing skilled guides, but all it takes is one miscalculated decision, just one, and you can find yourself the only survivor of that trek. So is it because, they didn't do, they messed up, they didn't have the right equipment, they didn't have the right, no. You can't control every aspect. And thinking that you can is what's going to set you up for that really disastrous moment. I think one of the best ways to survive any circumstance is to just know, I don't know how I'm going to survive this, but I fucking will, because I'm not giving up. I'm not giving in. I'm not giving up. I'm going to make it to the end. And I found that to be the most powerful tool in my survival arsenal. Just this knowing, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I do know I'm going to be standing at the end of this. I might be tattered, but I'm going to be standing. So yeah, it is like the butterfly effect. One decision affects every decision after that. So maybe becoming accepting and aware of what's going on. And that's perfect. Just becoming accepting and aware of the processes that you're going through, instead of shaming yourself for going through a process, instead of comparing with others. Well, God, I don't have my shit together because so-and-so, look, they already have this, and this, and I don't have that yet. That's their journey. You know what I mean? Maybe they're not as strong as you, and that's why they can't be tested to the depths that you're being tested. But just recognizing, I'm going through something right now. I don't know what it is, but I know once I'm done going through it, I'm going to understand. I'm going to be able to look back and see what each thing was trying to direct me to understand deeper. Excuse me. So, Leo, you're going to continue to be tested from August through to wintertime of this year. But from now until then, there is potentiality for you to just have quiet time, rest, rejuvenation. Those are very, very important things. I'm being reminded to encourage you guys to be in the sun more without sunblock. Again, I am not a licensed or trained medical professional. You use your judgment, what you want to do with that. But yeah, There's very much a need for you to allow the sun to recharge your soul. A lot of depletion is going on, and that's intentional. Okay, creation is allowing that so that the new energies are not commingling with the old stagnant ones. You do also need to remember you have soul family coming. Many of you are Lyran. Are you aware of that? Many of you are Lyran. I gotta make a list. Hold on, guys. Okay, so these are, and you're not obligated to do any of these sessions with me or at all, okay? But I'm being told, Lyran, hold on, guys. Okay, so there are 3 activations that I'm going to put on a 40% discount. You don't need a coupon code for this. I'll just make it automatic. The Lyran activation, the Orifum Emerald Sun Matrix activation, and the Blu-ray activation. Those 3 could potentially help to push this process through, facilitate an acceleration and an easing up of the symptoms and struggles that some might experience. No matter what, you're going to get pushed through this. No matter what, okay? If having a session, even with a discount, is going to put you in a difficult way, please don't book that session. You are going to get through this no matter what. No matter what. Have some faith in yourself, okay? Have faith in yourself. You're going to get through this. But if it really does resonate with you to have the sessions, I'll take care of that as soon as this live is done. Okay, guys? So your soul is preparing you for some unfathomable, intense path. You guys, it's been being said over and over and over for months now. Y'all are guardians of this space. Okay, you're guardians. Your energy was brought here through that Leo constellation to help with the guarding. You have a lot of coding within you that's going to go active. There's going to be a period from the first 3 to 6 months of this year where it's almost like an initiation process, testing of your mental, emotional maturity. And then you will have a break. You definitely will have a break. For some of you, the break is going to begin around the 3-month mark. For others, it's probably going to begin around the 6-month mark. But then come August 8th, that Lionsgate portal, you're going to start another cycle. And this is going to really speed up, okay? Your activations are going to go through the roof. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys begin to feel like vibrations, like tremors, more rocking of the eyeballs, like a sensation that your eyeballs are rocking, suddenly dizzy, things like that. If these physiological symptoms become concerning to you, even if it's just one time, if it's concerning to you, please go get checked by a doctor. Okay. It's one thing to acknowledge you're going through a spiritual process, but it's a whole nother thing to try and convince yourself that a physiological experience is simply all spiritual. Listen to your body. If you feel like there's something that needs to be checked, have it checked. There is nothing wrong or silly about being careful, okay? Being thorough. We're talking about your health. We're talking about your well-being. It's better to feel silly and be checked and your doctor tell you there's nothing wrong than to be like struggling through a serious medical condition, because these symptoms can mimic serious medical conditions, but spiritual circumstance, it typically doesn't cause fear. You're just like, ooh, that was weird. Well, for me and many of the people I know, But there are some who get afraid and they go to the doctor and they're like, oh, there was nothing wrong. I feel so stupid. Well, no, that's the smartest thing to do, is make sure there's nothing actually wrong. Okay. So let's see. The Buddha, that one? It's the Buddha. That's what it means to me. The Buddha. So you guys, thank you so much for sharing this space with me. I'm going to be live again to finish all the other zodiac signs that need to be finished. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell, join me whenever I'm live. If you haven't already given this video a thumbs up, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in the activations, give me a few minutes. I need to go to the website and do that manually. And I love you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful 2020. Bye.